BeastNet Podcast, sponsored in part by James Safety Services, OCR Buddy, and supported by the fitness community. Here we discuss all things fitness related, running, rucking, mental health and preparedness, and of course, obstacle course racing. Welcome to the BeastNet.
Hey everybody out there in BeastNet land. Today you got Brother Boggs. I'm talking with Julie Wolff and Russ Blatt of OCR Strong. You may have noticed recently that BeastNet has been promoting a lot of things from OCR Strong, and that's, well, because we're a member of OCR Strong. We're a proud member of this movement that's starting. So, Julie, Russ, who wants to take the reins first and kind of tell us what the brainchild was behind this movement?
Go ahead, Julie.
How'd I know you were going to do that? OCR Strong is a project that was the brainchild of Russ, myself, and another partner, Chris, to bring the community together that starts with the racer and ends with the racer. It's a full circle project that encompasses all aspects of OCR. As I mentioned, from the racer to the race brand, companies that support OCR or are involved in OCR, and it ends up back with the racer.
Yeah, Julie and I have known each other for probably a couple of years now, and we've been throwing ideas back and forth about different things. And she came up with this logo, with this OCR Strong logo, which we both thought was really cool. We were throwing it around with different ideas, and a conversation led to another. And Chris, who's now on the podcast tonight, Chris Reel, he's from Mud Racer Company. He's and three of us started talking in a text message chain once, and one thing led to another. We had this conversation about what can we do to help the OCR community. And, you know, the athletes, you know, there was really the talk started with some basic COVID stuff with, you know, all these races getting canceled. And with me being with OCR Buddy and Julie with OCRaddix also, you know, we know what's going on out there. And we know that there's people who, you know, don't have jobs and had problems. And we know that there are race companies who are struggling. And so we wanted to see, we came up with an idea, OCR Strong, which we want to be able to help. And as Julie said, it starts with an athlete and it ends with the athlete. In between, we have the brands who will be becoming members. And then we are going to also have some t-shirt sales, which I'm sure we'll talk about. And what we're going to do is take this money and get it back to the racers. So it is a full circle, as Julie described.
Yeah, a little while back, I was talking to Julie about one of her races, and the OCR is dead hashtag was starting to trend, and her and I were talking about OCR's not dead. Spartan may be offline, but everything else is still out there. And it was just really great timing, I think, when OCR Strong came up, just as everything started opening up again.
Yeah, I think that, and Julie could definitely, as a race director, which is another thing she does in her mass variety of things, the smaller brands and the smaller events have a better shot of doing events than the larger ones. You know, Spartan is as popular as Spartan is, and I guess we lost Julie for a minute. As popular as Spartan is, their events are thousands of people. And there is nowhere right now, at least in the United States, that are allowing thousands of people to get together. And that's unfortunately the problem that they're having. Spartan, Tough Mudder, and you know, I think some of those smaller events such as Celtic Warrior Challenge and Scenic Mud Run and some of the other ones that are, you know, Fit Challenge and the Warx's and these brands that can do the few hundred people and do that event fantastically. Those are the ones that are going to thrive in this. Maybe not thrive is the right word, but survive in this and put on events that people really enjoy attending and don't really see that much of a difference in them. You know, and that's part of what our focus is to also help these races. And, you know, and it's not just the ones that are out there that are producing. There's a lot of events that just closed shop this year that just said, I can't do an event in 2020 whatsoever. Let's see what happens next year. And, you know, luckily they're producing dates. They're getting the dates on the calendar. And They're hoping that 2021 is going to be a little bit better. And I think they're also learning from what's happening. Julie, as you know, she could talk about what it's like to put on an event in COVID in the world we're in. You know, Savage is doing it. Savage Race is doing it. You know, the Spartan is doing hurricane heat. So there are things that are happening, but it's a different world. And we want to reach out to these people that are out there and say, listen, OCR isn't dead. And we're going to help you get back. And that's, I think, another basis of what OCR Strong is.
I love that concept that OCR Strong is going to be the part of the help basis to get you back on it. Talking with some of the race directors the last few weeks on the show, you know, the race directors are a tight-knit community anyways. But, you know, what Julie went down and learned at her Spartan event, then she brought it back to Scenic Mud Run. And then couple of guys from Ohio went to the Savage Race and learned what they did and brought it back to put on their events like Frontline. You know, he learned a lot and is sharing information with the other guys so that they can learn how to put on these events. So it's great to have a community where we can come together and share that stuff to help everybody grow as part of being a member here.
Definitely. And, you know, Russ mentioned putting on during COVID. It was not the easiest thing to do by any means. You know, I understand why other race brands have canceled because it's difficult. You're looking at 50% capacity of racers. Last year at Scenic City Mud Run, we had 1,409. I think this year we had 867. So you have to adjust your budget and your build and all of that around those lower numbers and still be able to break even. You know, and we were very fortunate. We had a great turnout for the Scenic City Mud Run, a little over half. So that was way better than we were expecting. For some of the smaller brands, it works for like us. It worked out better because some of these other athletes that wouldn't necessarily come try a little local mud run we were the only thing happening. So they got in the car and they drove 2 or 3 hours and they came out and they tried our event. They were like, wow, you know, this is not your mama's backyard deal. They were very surprised and pleased with what we, the course that we put on. So in that aspect, it was a huge benefit for us to be able to do the event, jumping through the hoops of, you know, a lot of our sponsors are health care facilities. So we have to adhere to what they desire and request of us as our corporate sponsors. But even when we supply masks, you know, requested people to wear a mask, nobody did. You know, so and you know, we didn't force that, of course. We're in this last event was in Georgia, and we are not mask mandated here. So then, of course, we've got an event coming up next weekend in Mississippi, and our numbers have been slightly down there, well, greatly down there actually. So, you know, as a race director and all race brands, whether they're still having their events or if they've canceled, across the board, we're all in a bit of a deficit because we don't have that capital of our typical race registrations coming in.
Does your business need first aid, AED, OSHA, flagging, or other safety training? James Safety Services is your one-stop shop. Find them on Facebook today at James Safety Services WA and ask for a quote on hosting your training needs.
The other thing that, following up on what Julie just said, that we had talked about, because we come from different sides of the OCR community. Julie, you know, she is a race director. She does a little bit of marketing. She's in charge of a team as well. You know, so she came from one side. I'm the OCR Buddy guy, as people know me more or less. You know, and I do races. And then Chris runs a company called Mud Racer Company that does apparel. They're looking forward to doing a huge team event in 2021. And he also has other backgrounds in the sport that is different. So when the three of us got together, it was almost 3 different views trying to get to the same goal. And that was, how can we each bring a part of what we know to the community at large? And we keep talking about it's a full circle. And part of what we're planning on doing with the OCR Strong is we're right now in the process of bringing in members. Yourself with BeastNet is one. Frontline OCR, which is out in Illinois, they have an event coming up, their 5th wave on October 31st. They've become a member. Celtic Warrior Challenge, which Julie happens to be the race director of, they have an event on October 10th in Mississippi. They've become a member. We also have now More Heart Than Scars down in North Carolina, which they are a great charity group. They've become a member. And Race Ready Obstacles, who a lot of people know, you see their obstacles all over. They're unique. You'll actually see one of their newer obstacles at Frontline OCR. They're the first 5 that have joined. And we're reaching out to companies that are races. We're reaching out to companies that are helping in the OCR community and also who sell products to the OCR community. And what we're doing with these members is, as I mentioned, Julie came up with this logo, and you may see it on our website, OCR-strong.com. And when you go to the website, you'll see our logo. We're going to be putting together a t-shirt as well. And through this t-shirt and our sponsors, well, we'll call them members, we're going to sell that to the community. And through these funds, what we're going to do is go back to the races that are becoming members and other parts of the community and say, okay, we'd like to purchase registrations from you from the funds we have made and give them to racers that need it. We're going to come up with a way of finding the racers that deserve it and need it. People have been affected by COVID. People had problems. And we're going to give these registrations to the 2 OCR athletes so they can go and enjoy the events that they wish they could be doing. So that's where it's a full circle, and that's how we're going about it. And we think that by doing that, we're actually helping everybody. We're getting brands and companies exposure. We are getting brands also sales to their event because we're going to actually be purchasing them. And we're giving athletes a race to go at, and we're actually producing a pretty cool killer shirt. So that's what we're planning on doing.
All of our sponsors or members, their logos will be on the back of the shirt. So once you have the opportunity to get your hands on one of these shirts, be sure you take a look at those logos and reach out to those companies with a big thank you and know that they supported this. One of the talking about the project and scholarshiping athletes, that was a program that we've taken part in prior to OCR Strong. OCRaddix had a program or has a program for our members, and it comes in so phenomenally handy when you have an athlete that is in the gym, or they are at every training and they're doing everything they can, but they have extenuating circumstances where they can't afford a $150 race or a $99 race. So we started a scholarship program and funded it through an amazing OCR raffle last year. And it was such a huge hit that it just made sense for OCR Strong to carry that project nationwide and benefit all race brands and all racers that are in need. As Russ mentioned, we'll have an application process. And I'm a big cut up. So of course on my application that I did previously, it said, spend all my money on beer is not a valid need. Okay. So we are going to definitely, screen these applications, but it's just a full circle from literally the 3 of us to our sponsors and members, to the t-shirt, to the sale of the t-shirts, and the profits from the t-shirts going back to the race brands or race directors, and then those purchases of the race codes going straight to the athletes. So nobody loses in this. You get, if you're a company that sells to OCR or a race brand, you're going to get some great marketing exposure on the back of the t-shirt and on social media. Russ and I are both all over social media all the time. So, y'all might get sick of seeing us, but that's just how it is. And we definitely love to promote the brands that help promote us and help support this project.
So if somebody wants to join up, who do they contact?
They can contact either myself or Russ, either of us. We can do quick and easy PayPal over to the corporation and get it taken care of. Shoot us the logo, and we're good to go.
All right. And is that Jules or Julie at OCRaddix.com and Russ at OCRBuddy.com?
Or they can go the easy way and send us a message also. We also have, I believe it's OCRstrong2020 at gmail.com. They could reach out to us there as well. And, it's funny because we're learning a lot. We always think we know everything. We always think that we know all there is to know and to do this. And what I'm learning, and I've been in, I've been racing since 2013. I've been doing Buddy since we released in 16, but I've been at it since 15. And you think you learn a lot, and you think even more than you think, and just by doing something like this, for example, like it's if you see the appreciation in the people that you're talking to already, like, hey, that's really cool. That's a good idea. How can I get involved? And that makes it even better because you realize that there are other people out there that have the same thoughts that you do. And, you may not always, put them out on social media. You may not always promote things that you're thinking about, but you realize that as you talk to more people about something like this, that they want to get involved, and they're realizing that, wow, there are a lot of people out there that, just a way to say thank you. Hey, we appreciate what you've been doing. We know that you're having a tough time here. Go run a race. Hey, go. You live in the Midwest here. Go to Illinois, man. Go run the Frontline next year. Just something like that. It's the appreciation level is tremendous just from doing that, and just to talk to people and they hear what we're doing. It's really cool, and you learn a lot. And the more that we do this, the more I want to do it, which is exciting to me.
That's awesome. When I've been out racing, I've seen it before where somebody's there and they're, just to use Spartan as example, they're only doing a sprint because that's all they can afford, and they don't have time to volunteer, and they're a single mother, a couple of kids, has a babysitter for one day and just has to get out there and do the one race they can afford. That kind of person that maybe they could go out and do something that they couldn't do before because of this.
And, in all honesty, I've been there. I'm a single mom. I started in OCR in 2016, and in 2017, I lost my job as a corporate executive for a marketing firm. So, I was there. I was that woman that was training in the gym constantly, but couldn't afford to race. And, now that I'm in a little bit different spot, and I'm excited to be able to give back to people and that are in similar situations. So many people have lost their jobs, or there's so many stories. I was telling somebody yesterday that's new to OCR. Just about everybody in OCR has a story. And they'll tell you what OCR did for them, how it helped them overcome addiction or divorce, or just dozens of other scenarios out there. But just to be able to be part of a project that's able to scholarship people that are in a situation where I've been is exciting to me.
Yeah, that's super awesome. It's funny that you say all that, because that was basically the reason why we started this podcast, is because everybody has a story.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you learn. It's I guess I'm going back to that in a way, but I think you learn more about yourself when you talk to the more people you talk to, because you realize that, yeah, everybody has a story and everybody has a different reason why they go out on a course. But in the end, the reason really is you. You don't go on a course because of, you sometimes go because of other people, but it's you against the course. As much as you're part of a team or an organization or a group, in the end, it really is you against the course. Can you do it? And it doesn't matter if, in that extent, if you're an elite, if you're a pro, if you're a sloth, it doesn't matter. It's just, everybody crosses the finish line. Everybody gets, the medal, the shirt, and everybody has a story and the pride that comes with it. That's why I think people talk about the swag, man. I want the shirt. I want the medal. I think it's also they want the story that comes behind it. Because there really is, almost every medal and every shirt has a story. And that's something else we're looking to expand on, is hearing these stories that people have. OCR Strong.
Thanks for listening to the BeastNet Podcast. If you haven't done it yet, find us on Facebook. Like and share the podcast. Give us a review on iTunes or Spotify. All these things will help to expand the show in the future. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear.